now we're going to move to Station 2, which focuses on multiples and least common multiples. I'm going to do two examples for you here. You're going to do all the stations and all the problems on this, but I wanted to focus on the ones that you probably would have the most trouble with. We're going to first find the least common multiple. I'm going to for this problem here of 9 and 12. We want to list the multiples of 12. 9 and then list the multiples of 12. So 9 times 1, 9 times 2, 9 times 3, 9 times 4, 9 times 5, and 9 times 6. It's a good stopping point. Then we'll go 12 times 1, 12 times 2, 12 times 3, 12 times 4, 12 times 5, and 12 times 6. Are there any common multiples? I see a 36 as common. And since that's the only one that's common and it's the smallest, I can tell that my least common multiple of 9 and 12 is 36. Now I will say this, if you make a list and you find that there are no common multiples, what you need to do is go back and make your list longer. There eventually will be a least common multiple. Now I'm going to go to the word problems, and I'm going to do letter B with you. So starting at 6 a.m., a bus stops at my street corner every 15 minutes. Also starting at 6 a.m., a taxi cab comes by every 12 minutes. What is the next time both the bus and the taxi are at the corner at the same time? This is what I call a problem that deals with scheduling. Notice there's a schedule going on. The bus has a schedule where it travels a certain time, and the taxi has a schedule of traveling at a certain time. They're starting at the same point, and we want to know what time will it be when they're at the same point again at the same time. That's a clue that we're going to find the least common multiple. So I'm going to find the least common multiple of 15 and 12. Let's list out the multiples of 15. 15 times 1, 15 times 2, 15 times 3, 15 times 4, 15 times 5, and 15 times 6. Now I'm going to list out the multiples of 12. 12 times 1, 12 times 2, 12 times 3, 12 times 4, and 12 times 5, and 12 times 6. Now see if you can find any that are common. I see the 60 as being common. It is also the smallest common one, since that's the only common one. Remember, if you don't have any common multiples, make your list longer until you do find a common multiple. Now that's not our final answer. What that means is that the next time that they'll be together will be 60 minutes later. Okay, these are focusing on minutes. The question is, what is the next time? Well, if they both start at 6 a.m., 60 minutes later would be 7 a.m. So they will be at the corner at the same time again at 7 a.m. Make sure you understand that the numbers, just because you're finding least common multiple, that's not your final answer. Understand that that means 60 minutes in this case. The question was what time, so add 60 minutes on to 6 a.m. and you get your final answer.